Hey guys, Nelly here, and I am bringing you the rest of the achievement for Time Travel Hotel. Decided to do voiceover because it's easier to explain this way. So again, picking up where we left off, turn the valve to stop the gas from choking that guy to death, so that way he and his buddy can get crushed by a giant wall instead. Once you turn the valve, it's got to be nighttime. Keep this in mind. Anytime you're doing steps like this, it's got to be nighttime, or quote unquote you're in the past. So after you turn the valve to make the gas come, you have to lead a napalm zombie through this area. So I believe in just a second I actually make it go super fast mode. You guys don't really need to see us survive through all this. Essentially lead a napalm zombie all the way up through the cave and the path that we took. That way it sets all of the little gas things coming out of the ceiling on fire. You can see them light up in this case. And this is actually the last one. So once he lights that one up, you can kill him if you want to. We just kind of leave him be because he's slow and stupid anyway. And then you got to run back to where the guy was choking and pull the lever next to the valve. So you can hear that they escape. And then they decide to run away, and it'll go back to daytime at this point. So something to keep in mind as you're going through this achievement list is every time you do something correctly, it will transport you back to present day or daytime. So the next step is you then have to make sure you have Spikemores for it. So you need to go over, again, at nighttime or in the past, whatever you want to call it, have Spikemores and run over towards the waterfall area, and you'll hear him. You actually hear the guy talking about the fact that it's flooding or whatever. So set a Spikemore in each location that I'm showing now. Line it up with the hole in the wall. And then you're going to have to get zombies to trip them. So again, we're about to go into super fast mode as we're luring zombies up through this area. So you can hear him saying his stuff, blah, blah, blah. So once the zombies start coming, we actually start into rounds and we lure all the zombies up through this little area, so they set off the Spikemores, and when the Spikemore detonates or when it goes off, one of the spikes will actually get stuck inside that little hole that you just saw. So again, as only as me Blade would say, super fast mode, blah blah blah. So in this case, again, we're surviving. You can see we're reviving people. I'm epic. Kept us alive. And we continue on through, and eventually all the Spikemores get set off, and we get to a point where we have a crawler, and it's pretty safe to run. Once all the Spikemores have gone off and plugged all the holes in the wall, you need to run down to the bottom, and then go to where it says "Don't hold X" and hold X. That will actually make the waterfall, the quote-unquote the reservoir will start refilling, so the waterfall will start coming at a pretty intense pace. And we almost died from zombies, but somehow we make it out. But anyway, he says that did it, you know, we're out, and then it goes back to present day. So again, we know we did something right because it went back to present day. So that is the next step. Then the next step is, again, back in the past, you need to find this little teepee that I'm about to show you. Actually, we did survive that, don't really know how, but we did. So that little teepee right there, you can see I don't have a grenade, so I call Tall Runner over and tell him to chuck a grenade at this teepee, mostly because it was annoying the hell out of me and it actually ended up being part of the achievement. So he chucks a grenade eventually, after I keep telling him to do so. He finally does, after he stares at me. Come on, chuck it, chuck it, chuck it. There you go, he finally figured out what I'm saying. And he's going to go ahead and chuck Semtex. Close it up. Again, your guy says something like that worked. Then you will need to go ahead and start knifing the one. Again, we're making it nighttime again because it got back to daytime, and we're making it nighttime. We're going back in the past, as we talked about. So then you need to find these 12 slabs, and you need to knife them. Essentially, there's 12 of them, just like the 12 symbols you had to match up. So I do take the time to run to each of them so you guys can see the locations. All of them. Sometimes you have to knife in a very specific manner to make sure that it finishes, quote unquote finishes the carving. We actually found a radio where the guy from the past talks about, you know, he thinks that these unfinished carvings have something to do with the secrets to the temple. So the 12 that I show here are the 12 that you need to run around and knife. So I do run up to each of them. I don't go in super fast mode because I don't want you guys to miss anything, but essentially after you knife these 12, even though it takes me another minute or two to get around, because they are all over the map. And again, as always, you have to make sure you're doing this in the past before time runs out. And once you get to the last one, which I guess is another minute or two, so if you've already done this part, you can probably skip ahead a good minute to get to the next step. But as mentioned, you know, always once you hit the last one, you should probably keep a count. What we did as a good strategy is we each ran up to one because we knew where they were. We wanted to get it done quickly, and we called out a number every time that we knifed one. You know, so when I knifed one, I said 1, and then when Jorge knifed one, he said 2, and then when Dustin knifed one, he said 3, blah blah blah. So we can keep count and make sure that we knife 12. So eventually I make my way back up because there was one that I realized I forgot to show you guys. So I make my way back up towards where actually where the little teepee was, and there's one hidden actually in the, like, behind some shrubbery or something. Anyway, so you can see knife one over here. And thank you, Guru, again. I don't know if you're ever going to watch this, but he was a complete random. We actually only had 3 people, and we needed a 4th, and he spent a good 4 hours with us figuring the rest of this out. So appreciate you, Rob. Appreciate you, just in case you're watching this. Anybody ever wants to play some zombies with a good player? Guru is a good player. He's not a 12-year-old asshole that likes to talk about raping people's mothers or anything. He's actually a pretty cool guy. So anyway, you can see all the slabs that I'm showing you. You have to knife. You have to make sure you knife them all. And when you knife them all, your guy will say something about either, you know, I'm good at sculpting, or this is the last one, or whatever the hell you want to say. So we will see this last one. Is actually right there to my right, but eventually I make my way back around and see it hiding behind the leaves right there. Went ahead and give it a knife. And then it will take you back to daytime once you have knifed or completed the 12 slabs, and then you move on to the next part, which is actually the dials. So essentially there's a radio that you're going to see by the minecart during the daytime. There's actually one that you're going to see standing up. I don't show it, but it's actually standing up. That's going to talk about the slabs that you have to go around and knife, as you just saw. Then when you go back to daytime, after knifing all the slabs, you'll actually see that a radio in that same location, but it'll be knocked over. When you listen to that one, he's going to give you a code, and the code is 16314. It's not in any particular order, so if he says 16134, it really doesn't matter. It's not in particular order. You have to then go to the muddy area, and you're going to see these dials. Now make sure you're doing it at night, and you'll see the dials. There's going to be numbers. Essentially, you can see 2, 3. So you need to get the one with 4 dots on that one. Make sure it's at the top, and then I believe there's 3 dots on this one that you need to make sure it's at the top. And then the one here well, the one over there to the right has 1 dot on it, so you need to make sure that the 1 dot's to the top, and then the one that to the left has one that has a line, a C, and an extra dot. That means 16, so you need to make that one at the top. So 16134. So he says, that code works. So again, that'll transport us back to daytime as usual. Then you need to make sure that you get the pack-a-punched shrink ray. So if you don't have the pack-a-punch shrink ray already, make sure you take the time to get the pack-a-punch shrink ray. So you can see I have it now, and then you need to go to the 4 gongs, the other 4 gongs that you didn't use to make the little thing grow red before. So they'll actually sound like normal gongs. And all 4 of you need to knife them at the same time, and as you'll see, these things will light up more like a Treyarch symbol. So that's actually the dynamite right there, so you need somebody standing beneath the one that you just saw, and then the one with the shrink ray needs to go and shoot the one that I just shot right above the mud pit. And it'll actually like send a little beam around to each of the focusing stones, and the dynamite will drop down where you just saw. So somebody needs to be there to catch it, because otherwise it'll hit the ground and disappear. Okay? And then you need to go and activate the pack-a-punch again, which is what you're seeing here. And you need then to go up to where the pack-a-punch room, or where the pack-a-punch usually is, except the pack-a-punch won't be there anymore. The pack-a-punch will actually be gone. So you can see Power Player's getting really excited. So I'm hauling ass back over there, And when we go up the stairs now, the Pack-a-Punch is no longer there. And when you get up there, when you get to the wall, you need to hold X. You'll hear these guys talking. And when you hold X, you'll give him the dynamite. So you give him the dynamite, and then he tells you to back up. And then essentially you just have to wait until the water pushes you down. So this guy is really excited about using dynamite, apparently.
I just need to see the inside of the temple.
All right, here we go.
So he goes to open it up, and you have to sit here and wait, and we all get scared because he's like, "Oh, stand back!" And life is a bit slow, and decides to hang out there. Anyway, so eventually the water, you'll hear it like clicking, and the water will shoot out as it normally does when you run out of time for the Pack-a-Punch. Except this time, when the water shoots out, you'll actually see that there's now a hole in that wall. It'll go back to the present day. There's now a hole in the wall. So then you need to go back to. You don't need to go to nighttime anymore. You don't need to go to the past. Just go ahead and go back to the statues to activate the stairwell to get back up the Pack-a-Punch. So you gotta haul ass back over there, and once you get. And actually, somebody killed the zombie. We were really annoyed at this because we had come so far, and we were really scared that the zombies were going to overwhelm us really quickly. So Life finally makes his way over to the one he needs to stand on to make the head stop spinning, which is kind of creeping me out. I'm watching it right now. Alright, so then run back up there. And when you get up to the top, the hole will be there. There's going to be like a little meteor-looking thing floating. And actually, when you grab it, it is the focusing stone. So that's when you get all the achievements. So here it comes. Drum roll. Ba-da-dum-ba-bum. Focusing stone. Alright, so the person that grabs the focusing stone gets all 7 perks. So you can see the achievements. You unlock a gamer picture. The person that unlocks... Excitement, joy, joy, joy. So the person that unlocks picks it up gets all 7 perks. And even if you get downed, you keep those 7 perks when you get revived. So it pretty much makes you a complete badass. I got like 30 revives after this. Anyway, hope that helped, guys. As always, a like and a subscribe helps us big time. So enjoy your game of picture and your achievements, and take care, guys.